Have you ever watched folks in their later years walk around with ease, move up and down stairs without a fuss, and generally maintain a level of strength that seems remarkable for their age? It might look like luck, but for many seniors who enjoy that level of freedom, it's the result of choices they've made over time. They stay active, pay attention to their diet, and turn to supplements when they believe those will help. Yet there's a side of supplementation that isn't always discussed. Certain popular vitamins, when used incorrectly, can slowly chip away at leg strength and mobility. That erosion can happen so gradually that it goes unnoticed until tasks like climbing a few steps or getting up from a chair become difficult. This script aims to shed some light on the vitamins that might pose hidden risks for seniors and offer guidelines on how to safeguard mobility for the long haul. It's important to remember that vitamins can be a valuable asset for health. The trouble arises when they're taken in large doses, combined without a doctor's oversight, or used in ways that upset the body's natural balance. Some seniors think more is always better, or they combine several nutrient formulas that overlap. That can be especially hard on the legs, since they rely on healthy nerves, well-functioning blood vessels, and properly maintained muscle mass. Throw off any part of that equation, and mobility can take a serious hit. The first culprit on the list is vitamin D. It's earned a glowing reputation as a champion for strong bones, muscle function, and immune support. That status is well-deserved. Maintaining healthy levels of vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium and supports the musculoskeletal system in ways that reduce injuries and frailty. Yet vitamin D becomes a problem when it's not balanced with vitamin K2 and magnesium. These two nutrients help direct calcium into the bones and prevent it from ending up in places like the arteries and muscles, where it can do more harm than good. Research has observed that high-dose vitamin D on its own can lead to calcium deposits in the wrong tissues, causing everything from pain to weakness. Over time, that weakness can show up most clearly in the legs. Taking doses that exceed 4,000 IU a day for a long period can throw the body's mineral balance off. Some people experience muscle cramps, fatigue, or a frustrating sense that their legs just aren't strong. The best way to avoid that is to pair vitamin D3 with vitamin K2 in an appropriate ratio, like 1,000 IU of D3 to around 10 micrograms of K2. If someone is taking 5,000 IU, it's wise to add about 50 micrograms of vitamin K2. Magnesium should also be in the mix because it assists in the activation of vitamin D, helps muscles and nerves function properly, and prevents calcium overload. Getting that balance right supports leg strength rather than undermining it. Calcium isn't a vitamin, but it's often mentioned alongside them, especially for seniors worried about bone health. For a long time, people have been told that calcium supplements can prevent fractures. The reality is more complicated. Calcium on its own doesn't automatically strengthen bones. It needs other nutrients like vitamin D, vitamin K2, and magnesium to guide it into the bone matrix. If someone just loads up on calcium pills, it can accumulate in arteries and soft tissues. This misplacement leads to stiffness, poor circulation, cramps, and sometimes even pain in the legs. Researchers have pointed out that large calcium doses do not reliably reduce fracture risk in older adults, especially when taken without other key nutrients. In fact, there may be a higher risk of heart-related issues and difficulties like muscle weakness. Seniors are typically safer getting their calcium from foods like leafy greens, sesame seeds, or low-oxalate vegetables. The body absorbs dietary calcium more gradually and pairs it with other nutrients that help it settle where it's needed. Supplements can still be used in certain cases, but seniors should speak with a qualified healthcare provider before deciding on a dose and should always consider pairing calcium with nutrients that help keep it in check. Vitamin A is an unexpected entry in this conversation. It's usually associated with healthy eyes and vibrant skin, and it also supports immunity. The hidden risk is that vitamin A is fat-soluble, so it can build up in the body over time. Many seniors take a multivitamin plus other supplements that also include vitamin A, and these combined doses can easily exceed safe levels. When the body has an excess of fat-soluble vitamins, they don't simply wash out in urine. They tend to collect in the liver or in fatty tissues, which can weaken bones and muscles over time. Some older adults who take high levels of vitamin A report problems like muscle fatigue, joint discomfort, and a higher tendency to experience fractures. That can directly affect leg strength and general mobility. The daily upper limit for adults is about 3,000 micrograms of preformed vitamin A, equivalent to 10,000 IU, though plant-based beta-carotene is usually considered safer. Even so, it's important to check the combined total in all supplements. Seniors who get too much vitamin A might feel more tired and have a reduced appetite for physical activity, which leads to weaker legs. Over months or years, the damage can be substantial. Vitamin E is often highlighted as an antioxidant that supports heart health. It does have important benefits, but it also has a downside when taken in synthetic forms or in excessive amounts. Synthetic vitamin E, labeled as DL-alpha tocopherol, is often found in lower-priced supplements. High doses of synthetic vitamin E can disrupt muscle function and throw off nerve health, and seniors are more susceptible to these effects. Even natural versions of vitamin E, known as D-alpha tocopherol, can accumulate in the body if taken in large amounts because vitamin E is fat-soluble. This can lead to blood-thinning issues and muscle problems that appear most obviously in the legs. Some research has found that taking more than 400 IU of vitamin E daily over a long time can lead to complications, especially in older adults who may already have underlying health issues. Rather than risking that, it may be better to rely on foods that contain vitamin E along with other nutrients, such as nuts, seeds, and some plant oils. If a supplement is truly necessary, mixed tocotrienols may be kinder to the body, but seniors should still keep their intake moderate. There's no benefit in taking extreme doses. The goal is to protect the body, not drain it of strength. Vitamin B6 might be the biggest surprise. Because it's water-soluble, many people assume it can't accumulate to dangerous levels. That isn't always true. Very high doses of vitamin B6, which show up in some B-complex blends or energy boosters, can cause nerve damage. In older adults, nerve issues often show up first in the feet and legs, with sensations like tingling, numbness, or burning. Over time, this can lead to muscle weakness, poor coordination, and even trouble with basic tasks like walking or climbing stairs. Someone who has been taking large amounts of B6 for months or years might not immediately connect it to their supplements, and they might blame aging instead. The recommended daily intake for older adults is generally around 1.5 to 1.7 milligrams. Yet some supplements contain doses of 50, 100, or even 500 milligrams. That level is far beyond the body's needs and can push a person toward B6 toxicity. Seniors who take a range of products, each of which has some B6, might wind up getting dangerously high amounts without realizing it. Reducing or eliminating those excess doses can sometimes reverse the neuropathy, but recovery can be slow, so early awareness is essential. It's also wise to ensure that if someone is taking folic acid, commonly called B9, they're also getting enough B12. If B9 levels are high without enough B12, it can mask a B12 deficiency. Low vitamin B12 can also harm nerves and contribute to the same leg problems we're trying to avoid. To keep the legs strong and reduce the risk of mobility issues, it helps to look at everyday habits. A bit of daily movement goes a long way, even if it's just walking around the neighborhood or gently doing some squats supported by a chair. Tending to chores around the house can also keep muscles engaged. When people stop moving, muscles start wasting away. Even short periods of inactivity can make it harder to get around, which is why it's important to make movement a daily habit, no matter how small. Sleep and stress management are also important, although these factors don't get as much attention. Chronic stress can undermine the body's ability to repair itself, and poor sleep can weaken muscles over time by affecting hormone levels and energy reserves. Diet matters a lot. There's reason to focus on carbohydrate intake. Diets heavy in refined sugars and flour can lead to spikes in blood sugar, encourage inflammation, and wear down muscle tissue. In seniors, blood sugar swings can be more harmful because the metabolism isn't as robust. It's not about eliminating all carbs, but about focusing on nutrient-dense foods. Vegetables, moderate servings of fruit and protein sources like eggs, beans, poultry, or fish help nourish muscles, maintain energy, and keep blood sugar on a more even keel. That reduces the strain on the legs and decreases the odds of feeling wiped out by daily activities. Sunlight naturally helps the body produce vitamin D, especially when you spend 15 to 20 minutes outdoors a few times a week with some skin exposed. This gentle, regular sun exposure can support bone and muscle health without needing excessive supplementation. When vitamin D is made naturally, it often works more harmoniously with the body's systems, reducing the risk of imbalances that can arise from high-dose pills. But vitamin D doesn't work alone. Magnesium plays a critical supporting role. This mineral is essential for proper muscle contraction, nerve signals, and the activation of vitamin D itself. Unfortunately, many seniors are low in magnesium, which can lead to leg cramps, muscle fatigue, and even coordination issues. Adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, and pumpkin seeds to your meals can help. Or consider gentle supplements like magnesium glycinate if your levels are low. Proper supplementation isn't about taking more, it's about taking what's truly needed. Seniors should be cautious about stacking vitamins on top of multivitamins, as this can create harmful overlaps that quietly damage nerve and muscle function, especially in the legs. That's why it's so important to read labels, total up your intake, and get advice based on your personal health history and lab results. Even nutrients like vitamin B12 and vitamin C, which are generally helpful, should only be used in higher doses if there's a proven need. Meanwhile, hydration, protein at every meal, and restful sleep provide the foundation your body needs to restore and maintain strength. Gentle daily activity, like a slow walk, some balance exercises, or easy lunges, helps the legs stay toned and ready for everyday movement. And sleep, often overlooked, is when your muscles quietly repair and grow stronger. With a thoughtful routine that blends food, movement, sleep, sunlight, and tailored supplements, seniors can protect their leg strength, stay steady on their feet, and enjoy a better quality of life. It doesn't need to be complicated, just consistent and well-informed.